There's this thing that happens when you have a lot of kids, and I mean a lot. You stop marking time the way most people do. You don't think in months or seasons or even years, really. You think in chapters. You think in milestones. You think in the space between who someone was and who they're becoming, and you watch that space shrink faster than you are ever ready for. I've been in this thing long enough to know that the big moments don't always announce themselves. Sometimes you see them coming from miles away. The buildup, the planning, the color-coded calendar on the fridge with 3 different people's handwriting on it. And sometimes they just arrive, quiet, like they were always meant to be there. This was one that announced itself loudly. There was a prom dress involved, and a neighbor with a gift for hair and nails, and a nephew with a camera who honestly should be charging more for his time. And there was Maddie, our Maddie, standing in our front yard in the afternoon light, wearing that smile, the kind that isn't performance, isn't trying, isn't posed for the camera, just real, just her. And I'm telling you right now, before we even get into the story, I knew the second I saw her standing there that this episode was going to write itself. So let's get into it. This is We Are the Hansons, and this is Maddie's prom night. Hey, welcome back to We Are the Hansons. I'm Maya, and if you're new here, welcome to the most gloriously chaotic household on the internet. We are a big family, a loud family, we ran out of cereal again, how does that even happen family? And we love every single second of it. If you've been with us for a while, you already know the deal. This show is our family's story, unfiltered, unscripted, and unapologetically real. We talk about big moments and the small ones. The ones that make you laugh until you can't breathe, and the ones that make you sit in the quiet afterward and just feel it. Today's episode is one of those. We're talking about prom. Specifically, we're talking about Maddie's prom and everything that surrounded it, from the morning chaos to the final photos to the moment she walked back through the door at the end of the night. And if you stick around toward the end, I've got a little bonus for you. Because summer is coming, the weather is warming up, and I've been making this one particular treat that our whole family is obsessed with right now. I'm going to share the recipe because I believe good things should be shared. But first, let's go back to prom day, because this story deserves to be told properly. There is a specific kind of energy that exists in our house on a big day. It's not loud, not at first. It starts almost like a hum, this low, quiet vibration underneath everything that tells you before anyone has said a word, before you've even had your first cup of coffee, that today is not an ordinary day. You feel it when you walk down the hallway. You feel it in the way the kitchen is already half busy before the sun is all the way up. You feel it in the way people are moving a little more carefully, a little more deliberately, like the whole house knows something important is happening and has decided to cooperate. That was prom morning. I woke up and there was already something in the air. Now, I need to paint you a picture of what a big event morning looks like in the Hanson house, because I think people assume that having a lot of children means everything is chaos all the time. And yes, chaos is very much present, but there's also this beautiful, organized, somehow functional rhythm that our family has developed over the years of trial, error, and the occasional total disaster. We know our roles. We know how to move around each other. We know when to help and when to stay out of the way. And on a morning like this, and on a morning like this one, when it's Maddie's day, when all the energy is pointed in one direction, that rhythm becomes something else entirely. It becomes something that actually works. Maddie was up early, which, if you know Maddie, tells you everything you need to know about how much this meant to her. This kid can sleep. I say that with full love and zero judgment because listen, the ability to sleep in is a gift and some of us no longer possess it. But that morning, she was up. She was moving. She had a list, either mental or actual, I'm not sure, and she was working through it. And through all of the noise that comes with a big family on a big morning, someone asking where something is, someone debating breakfast options, the general symphony of the house full of people, Maddie was steady, calm. There's a version of nervous energy that some people get before big moments that makes everything a little sharp, a little too loud, a little jagged at the edges. And then there's the other kind, the kind Maddie had that morning, the kind that says, I've been waiting for this. I'm ready. Let's go. You can see it on her face, that quiet smile, that mix of excitement and something just slightly deeper than excitement, anticipation maybe. The feeling of standing at that threshold and knowing with some part of your gut that doesn't lie to you, that what's on the other side is going to be good. Now, I have to talk about Trinity, because any honest retelling of this prom day has to start here, with our neighbor girl, Trinity, who showed up and absolutely delivered. And I don't say that casually. I mean, she showed up, really showed up. The kind of showing up that goes way beyond, I'll help you. The kind that says, I'm here, I'm invested, and we are going to make sure this girl looks and feels like everything she deserves to feel like today. Trinity did Maddie's hair. Trinity did Maddie's nails. Trinity did Maddie's makeup. And in doing those things, she turned our space into something that felt completely different than it does on any regular day. There were tools out. There were products arranged. There was intention in the air. She came prepared and she came with full focus. I watched it happen. And I will tell you, there is something beautiful about watching two young women in a room together, working toward one goal, talking and laughing and figuring it out together. And it's not just about the hair. It's not just about the nails. It's not just about the makeup. It's about what happens in that space. The conversation, the trust, the way someone can say, I've got you, without ever actually saying those words. Trinity said it with every single thing she did. She paid attention to the details, the ones Maddie would notice, and the ones she wouldn't until she looked in the mirror and realized everything was exactly right. She adjusted and refined and stepped back to take a look. The way someone does when they actually care about the results, not just the task. There's a craft to it, honestly. You don't just pick up a curling iron and make someone look incredible. There's an instinct involved, a sense of what serves that person in front of you. And Trinity had it. She was reading Maddie. What would feel right? What would make her walk out of that chair feeling like the best version of herself? And Maddie trusted her completely. That trust, that willingness to sit still and let someone else handle the thing that matters, that's not nothing, especially at an age when so much of your sense of self is wrapped up in how you present yourself to the world, especially before a night as significant as this one. But Maddie trusted Trinity, and Trinity earned it. By the time they were done, I could see the difference, not just in the look, although the look was genuinely incredible, but in the energy, in the way Maddie was standing, in the way she was carrying herself. There's a specific kind of confidence that comes when you feel like the outside matches the inside, when the way you look reflects who you actually are on a day that actually matters. That's what Trinity gave her. And I don't think either of them fully knows how much that meant. I do, though. I saw it. Before we get to the pictures, and we are absolutely getting to the pictures, I want to slow down here for just a second and talk about something. This wasn't just any prom. Maddie was going to a public school prom. And I know that some of you might read that and think, okay, so? But for our family, in the context of Maddie's life and her path, that detail matters. It means she was stepping outside of her usual world, her usual faces, her usual environment, her usual routine. She was walking into a space that was largely unfamiliar and saying, I belong here too. That takes something. It takes confidence. It takes courage. It takes the kind of openness that not every 14-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, or honestly, not even every adult has easy access to. Because when you go somewhere new, where you don't have your usual safety net of people who already know you, already like you, already get your sense of humor, you are presenting yourself completely cold. You're walking in as a first impression with no do-overs. And Maddie walked into that with her head up. We talked about it a little beforehand, not in a worried way, more in a how are you feeling about it kind of way. And she was calm, genuinely, not performing calm for my benefit, actually genuinely settled in herself about it. She said she was excited to meet new people. She said it was going to be fun. And you know what? She was right. But I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, the pictures. Oh, the pictures. Now, I want you to understand something about photographs in our family. We are not a quick, get a photo, okay, done kind of family. We don't do the quick snapshots from 10 feet away that you'll look at later and think, it exists. No. When we do photos, we do photos. And this day was no exception. And let me tell you, me and my nephew Johnny teamed up on this one. And let me tell you, that was the right call because us two together have this way of working that just works. Me, I've been doing it long enough to know where the light is, when to move, when to tell someone to shift 2 inches to the left. And Johnny, that kid has natural eye. Some people take pictures, Johnny sees pictures. There's a difference, and it's significant. Together, we turned our front yard and the space around our house into something that felt intentional, like every backdrop was chosen, every angle considered. We shot outside first, which was the right call because the light that afternoon was beautiful. That warm, golden, just past midday light that makes everything look like it was meant to be photographed. The kind of light that doesn't need filters because it's already doing all the work. Maddie came out ready. And I keep coming back to that word, ready, because it's the only word that fits. She wasn't nervous in front of the camera. She wasn't stiff. She wasn't doing that thing where you can tell someone is thinking about how they look instead of just being where they are. She was present. She was herself. We moved her around different spots, different angles, different kinds of poses, some that were more polished and serious, some that were just her, laughing at something Johnny said, caught completely off guard and completely perfect for it. Those are always my favorite, the laughing ones, because no one looks bad when they're laughing. No one looks like they're trying when they're laughing. You can't fake a laugh that reaches your eyes. And Maddie's always does. At one point, I remember stepping back and just watching Johnny work. Johnny shooting, Maddie navigating between us both with this easy confidence that made everything look effortless. The three of us had a rhythm, and I thought, this is stuff. This is stuff that gets put in a box and brought out 20 years from now. This is the stuff her kids are going to see someday. This is the thing that will make time feel real, both how fast it moved and how full it was. There was this moment in particular. I don't even know if Johnny got it on camera or not. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Where Maddie just stopped between poses. She looked out towards the road, not at anything specific, just out. And she was smiling, that soft inward smile, the one that means you're happy in a way that's too full to perform. And I thought, she knows. She knows this is a moment. She knows that right now, standing in this light on this day, surrounded by these people, this is going to be something she'll come back to. Maybe not tonight, maybe next year, but someday she's going to be somewhere in her life and something will bring her back to this afternoon in the yard, and she is going to feel that whole weight of it. How young she was, how sure of herself, how the light hit her hair exactly right, and how nobody told her to smile like that. She just did. I hope she keeps those pictures somewhere safe. I hope she looks at them on the days when things feel hard and she needs a reminder of who she is, because those pictures tell the truth. By the time we were done, we knew. We all knew, without having to say it. We had something really good. Better than good, actually. We had the kind of pictures that do exactly what pictures are supposed to do. Freeze the right moment with the right light and the right day, so that years from now, someone can look at them and feel it all over again. And then it was time. There's a specific kind of pause that happens before a kid walks out the door on a night like this. If you're a parent, you know the one I'm talking about. It's not dramatic. It doesn't come with a speech for a moment of formal recognition. It's smaller than that. It's quieter. It's just this brief, suspended second where you look at them, really look at them, and something in you catches. Not in a sad way, in a full way, in a look how far we've come way. Maddie was standing by the door, ready to leave, everything done, everything in place, looking incredible, and I had that pause. I saw her as she was right then, this young woman, confident, beautiful in the way that's more than just the dress and the hair and the makeup, though all of that was genuinely perfect. Beautiful in the way that comes from being raised with love, from knowing who you are, from stepping into hard things and coming through them okay. I thought about the little kid version of Maddie, the loud laugh she had since she was small, the way she always moved through the world with this particular energy, big feeling, big personality, but also, underneath that, something steady, something grounded. I thought about all the regular days between then and now, all the Tuesday evenings and Saturday mornings, all the dinners and arguments and car rides and quiet conversations, all the ordinary stuff that accumulates without announcement into who a person is. And then I looked at that person standing in front of me, and I thought, we are doing something right. That feeling, I can't manufacture it. I can't force it. It just happens in these moments. And when it does, I've learned to just let it. Don't rush past it. Don't make it too big. Just let it be what it is. And we headed out. And the house got a little quieter. Not empty. A house like ours is never truly empty, but quieter, different quiet. And in that different quiet, there was satisfaction. The kind that comes when a big day goes right. When the things that could have gone sideways didn't. When you put love and effort and people into something, and it comes back around exactly what it was supposed to be. Here's the thing about waiting for a kid to come home from something big. You're not really waiting. Not in the way you're sitting by the door watching the clock. Life keeps going. The rest of the household keeps moving. Other kids need things. The night moves forward. Someone wants a snack. Someone can't find the TV remote. The usual symphony. But there's a small part of your attention that stays put, that keeps a little window open in the back of your mind, wondering if she's having fun, wondering if the people were kind, wondering if the music was good, if the venue was what she expected, if she found her footing in a room full of unfamiliar faces, wondering if this experience is doing what you hoped it would do for her, giving her something to carry forward. I've noticed that parenting a teenager is a lot of this. It's a lot of sending someone out into an experience and trusting that you've given them what they need. Not just the dress and the logistics, but the internal stuff, the resilience, the confidence, the ability to walk into a room and not need to be a perfect person in order to enjoy it. You spend years pouring into your kids, and then there are these moments where you let go of the handle and watch them balance on their own. And every time, your heart is doing something complicated and wonderful simultaneously. That's what the evening felt like. We heard a little bit through that evening. The usual, a text here and there, the kind of brief check-ins that tell you enough without telling you everything, which is exactly appropriate. She was having a great time, and that was enough. It was more than enough. Because that was the whole point. Not the dress, not the photos, not the hair or the nails, or the perfect light in the front yard. Those things were the frame around the real thing. The real thing was Maddie, out in the world, having a night she would remember. Meeting new people, dancing, laughing, being young, being free, being in a gymnasium that's been transformed into something that tries very hard to be magical and, on the right night, with the right people, actually succeeds. That's what we were waiting for, and she got it. She absolutely got it. When she walked back through that door, I could see the night on her face. And I mean that in the best way possible. She still looked beautiful, but it was a different kind of beautiful now. It was a lived-in beautiful. The kind that comes from having been somewhere and done something and felt things. The hair was a little different than when she left, which is exactly how it should be. Her eyes were bright, that glow, that specific post-good night glow that you can't fake and you can't manufacture, was absolutely present. I asked her how it was, and the way she said, "So good," the weight of those two words, the way they came from somewhere genuine, I didn't need the details. I mean, I wanted the details, and she gave them to me, don't worry, but the details almost didn't matter, because the feeling said everything first. She talked about the people she met. She talked about the music. She talked about the moment that made her laugh. She talked about dancing. And I loved that. I loved that she danced. I loved that she got on that floor and moved and didn't spend the night standing by the wall worrying about how she looked. That's the goal every time, every milestone. Go in, be present, dance. Come home full. She was still home safe. She was happy. She had a story to tell. And in this family, stories are everything. We sat together for a while after she got back, not in a formal way, just in the easy kind of late night talking that happens when someone comes home from something and the house is a little quieter and there's nowhere to be. The kind of conversation that moves around without agenda, part debrief, part just being together. Those are some of my favorite moments, honestly, the after moments. When the event is over, but the energy of it is still in the room. When everyone is a little tired and a little happy and nobody's rushing off anywhere. Those moments are easy in a way that some of the big planned, orchestrated moments aren't. They're just real, just us. And that night, with Maddie home and happy and full of stories, it was one of the good ones. One of the ones I'll hold on to. I've been doing this long enough to know that the moments you think are going to be significant don't always turn out to be. And the ones you think are just another day turn out to be the ones you remember forever. This one I knew would matter. I knew it when we were standing in the driveway and the light was exactly right. I knew it when I saw Maddie's face in those photographs, that absolute, unguarded, real expression of being happy and confident and exactly herself. I knew it when the house went quiet after she left, and I let myself feel it for just a second before moving on to whatever was next. I want to talk about something though before we get to my recipe, because I think it's worth saying out loud. There is so much pressure in parenting to make the big moments perfect, to orchestrate everything, to control all the variables and produce a result that matches some idea of what a milestone is supposed to look like. We see it everywhere. In the Pinterest boards and the Instagram stories and the highlight reels that other families post that sometimes, if you're not careful, make you feel like your version of things isn't quite enough. And I've been there. I've been there in the comparison trap. I've felt that pull to wonder if we're doing it right, if we're doing enough, if the milestone will land the way it's supposed to. But what I've learned, and Maddie's prom was a beautiful reminder of this, is that the best moments aren't the ones where everything went perfectly according to plan. They're the ones where the right people showed up, where someone like Trinity said, "I've got you," and meant it, where someone like Johnny picked up a camera and saw the shot before anyone told him to, where the whole family moved in the same direction, instinctively, without a script, because we've been doing this together for a long time. That's the thing you can't manufacture. That's the thing you build, slowly, over years, through showing up and being present and choosing people who show up and are present right back. We have that. We've built that. And Maddie's prom was the kind of moment that just reflected it back at us. So if you're in the middle of the building, if you're in the noisy, chaotic, who took my shoes, how are we out of cereal again phase of raising your family, I want you to hear this. It adds up. All of it adds up. The daily stuff, the boring stuff, the getting through Tuesday stuff. It accumulates into something, into a foundation, into a family that knows how to show up for its own. That's the thing. You're inside it, living it, surviving it day by day. And you don't always have the vantage point to see what you're creating, but it's there. It's happening. Every dinner, every conversation, every time you show up when you didn't feel like showing up. It goes into the foundation, and then prom day arrives, and you look at your kids standing in the yard in the perfect light with that smile, and you understand. Hold on to that on hard days, because prom day is coming, and it's going to be beautiful. Okay, summer treat time. I promised, and I keep my promises. This recipe has been making the rounds in our house for the last few weeks, and every single time I make it, it disappears within the day. I'm not exaggerating. I made a full tray on a Saturday afternoon, and by Sunday morning, I was looking at an empty dish, wondering if I had imagined making them. These are strawberry lemon icebox bars. They are cool, creamy, a little tangy, a little sweet, and they require absolutely zero oven time, which, when summer hits for real in our part of the country, is basically a requirement for any recipe I'm willing to make. Let me walk you through it. For the crust, you're going to need 2 cups of golden Oreo crumbs, or graham cracker crumbs work just as well. Honestly, it depends on what you have. About 1/4 cup of granulated sugar and 6 tablespoons of melted butter. That's it for the crust. For the filling, you need 1 block of cream cheese at full room temperature, 8 ounces, 1.5 cups of fresh strawberries, 1 cup of powdered sugar, the zest of 1 whole lemon, 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, and 1 8-ounce container of Cool Whip, or whatever whipped topping you prefer. For the top, another 1/2 cup or so of fresh sliced strawberries for garnish. And if you want to get a little extra with it, a few thin slices of lemon. Start with your crust. Combine the cookie or graham cracker crumbs with the sugar and the melted butter. Mix it until it comes together and press it into the bottom of a 9 by 13 dish. Make sure you get it even. I use the flat bottom of a glass to press it down, and it works perfectly every time. Put the crust in the freezer while you work on the filling. You're not baking it, just chilling it. For the filling, and this part matters, your cream cheese needs to be genuinely at room temperature. Don't try to rush it. Cold cream cheese will not blend correctly, and you will end up with lumps in your bars. And I promise you, that is not the result you want. Let it sit out for a good 30 to 45 minutes before you start. Once your cream cheese is soft, beat it until it's smooth and a little fluffy. A hand mixer works great for here. But if you're strong and patient, a wooden spoon and some commitment will also get you there. Add in your powdered sugar and mix it thoroughly. Now, take your fresh strawberries and mash them. You want them broken down, but not completely pureed. Some small chunks in there are actually a good thing. They add texture and a little burst of real strawberry flavor, and those Add those into the cream cheese mixture along with the lemon zest and the lemon juice. Mix everything together until it's fully combined, and you've got this beautiful pink, fragrant, creamy filling. Now fold in your whipped topping. Gentle folds. Don't beat it in. You want to keep as much air in there as possible. That's what gives the bars their light texture. Take your crust out of the freezer and spread the filling evenly over it. Smooth the top as best as you can. Cover it and put it back into the freezer. You want at least 4 hours. Overnight is even better. When you're ready to serve it, pull it out about 10 minutes before you cut it, just enough to let it soften slightly so you can get clean cuts. Top it with your fresh strawberry slices and lemon. Cut into bars and serve. That's it. I'm telling you, these bars are the thing this summer. They look impressive, they taste like something you worked hard on, and the reality is they took you maybe 20 minutes of actual hands-on time. The hardest part is waiting for them to freeze, which in our house requires hiding them behind something in that freezer and telling no one. You have been warned. All right, friends, that is our episode. Maddie's prom, Trinity's talent, Johnny's eye. All right, friends, that is our episode. Maddie's prom, Trinity's talent, Johnny's eye, a yard full of good light, and a family that showed up for its own, and strawberry lemon icebox bars. I feel really good about that combination. If today's episode made you feel something, if you thought about your own milestones, your own kids, your own moments of watching time move faster than you thought it would, I'd love to hear about it. Find us wherever you listen. Leave a comment, send us a message on our Facebook. Drop a 5-star review. It matters more than you know. It helps other families find us. And every time I see a new review come in, I read it, every single one. We are a real family telling real stories. No scripts about what a perfect family looks like. No performance. Just us. With all of our chaos and love and never enough serial reality. Showing up and sharing it. And the fact that you show up too, that you come back week after week and listen and care, that means the world to this whole family, to Maddie. If you're listening to this, which you might be, and you might be cringing just a little bit, and that's okay. I hope you know how proud we are. Not of the dress, not of the photos, not even of the incredible job Trinity did on your hair. Though let's be honest, it was stunning. We are proud of you. The way you walked into something new, with your head up and your heart open. The way you came home glowing. The way you told your stories with the brightness in your eyes. That's who you are. That's who you have always been becoming. And it is such a privilege every single day to watch you become more of it. To Trinity, thank you, genuinely. What you gave Maddie that day was more than a great look. You gave her the kind of confidence that comes from feeling seen. That's a gift. We don't forget it. To Johnny, thank you for seeing it, for knowing where to point the camera, for capturing something real. And to this family, all of us, the whole loud, full, overflowing Hanson household, thank you for being exactly who you are. In a world that sometimes feels like it's moving too fast and asking too much, you are my proof that it's worth it. Every single day, it is worth it. Thank you for listening to We Are the Hansons. I'm Maya Hanson. This is our story, and we can't wait to share the next one. Take care of each other out there. We'll see you soon.